of the country's civil war, Mozambique has increasingly become a popular tourist destination because of its national parks and tropical coastline. In particular, it's attractive for South Africans. It's just a 6-hour drive from the commercial capital Johannesburg, making it ideal for a long weekend away. Swiss investor Adrian Frey himself came to Mozambique on a holiday just 12 years ago and has never looked back. He says it's not just middle-class South Africans and Europeans responsible for generating the $119 million recorded for this sector in 2008.
We have a new and very interesting group. This is the high-end group. These are the wealthy people of the world. Over there you have a development where the Prince of Holland is building a holiday home. Now with the Prince of Holland comes other celebrities as well, and I'm told that even the royal family in England is now looking into that. So all of a sudden Mozambique has a value for the famous and rich people in the world, and that's actually very good news for us, because these people then bring us access to huge investments and give us exposure in the world.
Adrian's story is pretty unique because during his time in Mozambique, he says he made enough mistakes that he eventually saw a business opportunity in them. He started consulting other investors.
When you come here, I think you have to control your budgets very carefully. It takes longer than a lot of people think to roll out here. 6 out of 10 investors fail, so one has to be aware that it's a challenging place where people also can fail. And the successful people are the people who came in very carefully, came here to study the market first, and opened their businesses with good advisors. You need good advisors, and then you can be very successful.
The big mistake investors make when trying to do business in Mozambique is not understanding its property law. Gustave Eiffel's architecture has 2 instances where they're particularly relevant for Mozambique and France. Firstly, because he designed 2 of the major architectural sites in Maputo. Secondly, because like the great con job attempted by Victor Lustig to sell the famous French landmark, property con jobs in Mozambique are rife.
It gets tricky when obviously the crooks try and get clever and try and sell one property to one person and the same property to somebody else.
Does that happen quite a lot?
It happens quite often, but con artists are all over the world. If you're going to do something in a foreign country, get a lawyer, a reputable lawyer, and do things the right way. I find a lot of guys come in here, they see a chance, get a hectare property for 5,000 rand. They take the chance, they lose their money because they don't go through the proper channels.
When you come here, you cannot buy land. That's forbidden in Mozambique. So what happens here, you get the right to develop land, and this right is basically given to you for free. And only when you have built on your land, you can sell what you have built. In other words, an empty piece of land is not tradable, and that's a typical mistake South African investors make here.
But for some companies, it's not just about getting property rights. Obtaining licenses for some unusual equipment is the major challenge. Maria Bagora and Kevin Davies started Mozambique City Tours to capitalize on Mozambique's vibrant city life, which is often bypassed for destinations further north. But they hope their unique hop-on, hop-off train service will change all that.
That was actually one of the reasons why we wanted to introduce this service, the City Tour, on a flexible hop-on and hop-off train. Because we find that a lot of the tourists, so the people that are selling, tourism in Mozambique, neglect Maputo city a little bit, and we wanted to develop the urban tourism. The most interest that tourists have is for the north of the country, where we have all the beautiful and unspoiled beaches, but our intention is to also develop urban tourism in the city.
As Maria has hinted at there, the city itself has some beautiful architecture from colonial times, dating back to the early 17th century, and some exceptional monuments within the city that really are deserving of some visits and deserving of some exposure. And that was one of the primary reasons, because we don't want it to be just a stopover visit. When people are here, they should experience the cultural elements that the city's got to offer, as well as some of the great restaurants and the shopping opportunities that abound here.
Overall, Mozambique still has a long way to go before it becomes a competitive investment destination. But that's not to say it's not on the right track.
It's still an emerging market, but opportunity is huge in Mozambique, especially with mining is growing a lot. Agriculture, there's a lot of land available, fertile land. Infrastructure is getting a lot better. Railroads is getting better. The roads are getting a lot better. A lot of the roads up north have been fixed. The ports are getting upgraded. So in every aspect, I think it's going to take still a bit of time before it's probably competes with the first world, but the opportunity is definitely there.